Hello and welcome. So excited to show you this really cool hoodie I did. So I dyed it using like a loose geode tie. So I just grabbed a random area of my hoodie and I'm wrapping the sinew around like 3 to 5 times, and then I pull it tight until you feel a little tug. One thing I'll note too is this was soaked in soda ash for at least 20 minutes. 1 cup of soda ash per gallon of water. And I kind of eyeball it. I have a video where I show how I do it exactly, but it's mostly just eyeballing. I just put a bunch of soda ash in water and let it soak. That will help bond the dye to the fabric. So the other thing I was going to mention about that is the soda ash makes it pretty slippery. Makes the fabric slippery, makes my hands slippery, makes the sinew puller slippery. So I like to wear gloves while I do this because it gives me a little bit more grip. So if you're ever using sinew and you're trying to tie a geode or a mandala or anything with sinew and you have a hard time with slippage, I suggest trying to wear gloves. It might help. You can also let your soda ash soaked items dry and you can tie it that way, but I like to tie it wet just because I'm lazy and I don't want to wait for it to dry. So here you can see I've started my second nodule. I like to make sure that these nodules are misshapen and kind of scawampus, so that they don't just make a perfect circle. So they have like a jagged edge and it looks a little more like a natural geode. Alrighty, so I put this hoodie in a Tupperware container and I'm just adding in some ice. I decided to do dye over the ice for this one, so you can see I'm just adding as much ice as will cover the fabric. I'll go get more here. This wasn't enough ice, as you can see. So I'll go get some more and make sure that the whole hoodie is totally covered. Here I'm just trying to make sure that the ice is on top of the fabric and not fallen down. Alright, so the first color I used was Phoenix Flame. This is the coolest yellow color that kind of splits green. It's just a really cool color. So one of my favorite colors right now, Phoenix Flame. And then I used Power Berry, which is another one of my favorites. It's just a really cool purple color. I love this color. And then the last color I used was Alchemist. This is a color that splits. It's like a purple and blue splitting color, and it looks really cool with Phoenix Flame. So I wanted to see what it looked like with the power berry as well, and it turned out super cool. This was a really cool result. In fact, this one I listed on my Etsy store and it sold within like the first day. So if you like this one, sorry it's sold out, but if you check out my Etsy store, I've got a bunch of other hoodies, so you can see if another one you might like. All right, so you'll let the ice melt and then you'll let it sit for at least 24 hours. I usually let mine sit for about 48, and here I am rinsing it out. You can see the bottom of the fabric, the color didn't go all the way through. If I were to redo this, I would probably flip it over and add a little bit more dye on the bottom there so that there isn't as much white space. It still turned out really cool, but you know, you always think of ways you could improve after you've finished a project. So that's one thing I would have probably done, was probably flipped it over and added more Phoenix Flame, because the purple kind of took over a lot of the Phoenix Flame color. So here I'm just unwrapping the sinew. That's one good thing about sinew, is you don't tie it, you just wrap it and it sticks to itself. So when it comes time to untie and rinse out, it's a really simple process. So here I'm just rinsing with cool water, trying to get out as much as I possibly can. Hoodies are pretty tricky because they're so dense. It takes a lot of rinsing and a lot of manpower to get out all the color. That's why you keep seeing my head, because I have to really put my muscle power behind it. After you've rinsed it with cool water, you'll bump it up to hot and you'll see even more color come out. And then here I'm using Dawn dish soap, and that just gets out even more of the color. You can see there's still so much purple coming out. After I feel like I've got out as much as I can and my hands are tired, I put it in my washing machine on a hot wash cycle, and that gets out even more excess dye. I use Dyer's detergent from Dharma, mostly just because I sell my things, so I want to make sure that I really get out all the dye I possibly can. But regular washing detergent works as well. And here is that final result. You can see there's kind of a lot of white space, but it still turned out so cool. I love this project. If you have any comments or questions, please reach out to me. I'd love to chat. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you have any questions whatsoever, please comment below. I love to answer all sorts of questions. Also in the link below, there is a free printable just for you, 12 of my very favorite folds. It's an ebook written out just for you. All I need is your email and I'll send it right to your email. I also have an Etsy store. If you liked what was in this video, it might already be gone, but there might be something else that you love in my store. So check that out. Thank you so much for supporting me. We'll see you next time.